Hey everyone, Steve here. Welcome back to another one of my Copytrade videos. I hope you're doing well today. It's a pretty good day for me. I just got a new vape. Trying to quit smoking, so nice little vapey here. Today we're just going to talk about an Excel file that I created, which covers the 6 potential traders that I plan to copy trade. I've already copy traded one of these traders, which is Olivier. So that leaves 5 other traders and 6 in total. As I said in my previous video, I was going to create an Excel file with formulas and prices, the past history of these 6 traders and their percentages, what they've got every month and the averages and so on. So I just want to show you this here now, the Excel file that I've created. Okay, so this is the Excel file I've been working on that I want to show you guys today. So these are the 6 traders that I have in mind to copy trade. I've already copy traded Olivier in a previous video, put on $200. Okay, so what I've done is I've added the previous 2 years of these 6 traders stats on eToro. Okay, so this is 2018, so January to December, and then January to December of 2019. Okay, as you can see, some of these are grey. So Mikhail actually, well, I believe he took a break. So some of these grey lines are either they took a break and then came back, or they just started when the stats start. Okay, so some of them start, Mikhail starts on August 2018, Olivier, he actually goes back a lot further than this. Trading started in December 18. Eric Capital started in April 2019. Big Profits goes back a bit more past 2018. And Eddie KH is January 19. So let's unhide this and just focus on this area here. Just quickly, let me just say, so for Mikhail and trading, okay, so for these 2, I'm actually starting the top 1 stats here, because from here to here, if I remember correctly, they made a post on eToro and basically said they're changing the way that they trade to try and get more copiers. So as you can see, there's some quite big numbers here, 23, 11, 27, then 18. So this area here, obviously a lot higher stats, a lot more riskier. So I'm starting from May 2019 for this top trader here. So as you can see, it's gone from 454, and now it's roughly about 1 or 2%. So this is where they've sort of been reborn, if you like. This is their new history. So that was Mikhail, and also the same goes for trading 0207. As you can see, these are some quite large numbers here. So you've got 60, 20, 36, 26, and 12. These are the percentages he's made for those months. Okay. Again, trading made a post on eToro, basically saying he's trading changing the way that he trades, so there's less risk, get more copiers. And as you can see, from the same month as Mikhail, May 2019, got from all these 60s and 20s and things, and that from now on he's doing 5s, almost like a 1% here, 117. Okay, so for this top one, Mikhail, and for the middle one, trading, we're actually going to start here, May 2019. And just to let you know, this Excel file will be a downloadable link below in the description. So if you want to check that out and download it yourself and have a little go at it, that's fine. And you can edit, the copiers, edit any variables you want. Okay, so max loss for Mikhail from his entire history, from the range we just discussed, 0.45. Max gain, 5.73. The average loss is the same, so he's only made 1 loss during that time. And the average gain, 2.85. Now, just to save time, I don't want to basically read out what we're seeing on the screen. So if you want to pause the screen and just have a look at these numbers, at these 6 traders, max loss, max gain, average loss, and average gain, then please do that now. Okay, so then with that information, what I've done is created an interactive formula, kind of. So we've got our 6 traders here, and we've got the money in section. Okay, so just for the sake of argument, because I plan to initially only do $200 for each trader initially, and then I can add more funds in. For that sake, we're going to start with 200 in this hypothetical graph. Okay, so this is where it might get a bit confusing now, but bear with me. The average gain, take away the average loss. Okay, so if we start one by one, say Mikhail, if we put $200 in, Mikhail's average gain, take away his average loss, would give us $4.80 a month. Okay, actually let's do it this way, it's probably a bit easier. So Olivier Danville, his average gains take away his average loss. His entire loss is 0, so his average gain is 2.08, take away 0. So that's $2.08 per month. Trading 0207, 3.54. A REIT, 2.36. Big profits, not so big profits, minus $4.4. So that's big profits' average gain minus his average loss per month. So he's in the red by $4, not 4%, $4. Okay, so at the moment, this whole thing is in dollars. I have got a little section below in percentages. Okay, and then finally, Eddie KH, average gain, take away average loss is $3.44. Okay, and then if we're just going to do the max gain, take away the average loss, so obviously it's going to be a bit more. So $10, 6, 10, 11, 8, 8. So generally quite healthy for all the 6 traders. And then the average gain, take away the max loss. Okay. So again, these are in dollars. 4, 2, 3, 1, minus $14. Okay. And that's, again, everyone's on $200, hypothetically. So with big profits, average gain, take away his max loss, every month you'd be losing $14. And Eddie KH, $2.9. The max loss from their history, $0.9, $0, $4, $5, $17, $2.54. And then we go to the max gain of their entire history, $11, $6, 14, 16, 15, 10. And their average loss, 0.9, 0, 4, 4, 7, 2. Average gain for the month, based on their average profits, $5, $2, 7, 6, 2, and 5. Okay, and then if we have a look down here, so this $1,200 is basically just adding up all the money we've put in. Okay, and the same with these. So all of this line here is just totaling the columns above it. So you start off with $1,200 because there's 2 per each, $200 for each trader. Okay, so all of these 6 traders, average gain would take away the average loss. You'd end up with an extra $11.8, which is for the month 0.97 gains. If you have the max gain, the historical max gain, take away the average loss, you gain $56 for the month, which is a 4.51 increase. The average gain, take away the max loss. So this is quite a big one now. Again, probably going to be seeing some red. Okay. you'd make 12 cents for the month, which is a 0.01%. Max loss, you lose about $30, and that's a minus 2.57 decrease for the month. That's if all of these 6 traders had their max loss all at once. Okay, so you'd lose 2.57. Max gain, everyone's max gain all at the same time in the same month, hypothetically. 1274. So you'd gain $74 for that month if everyone had their max gain all at once. And that's a 5.88 increase. Average loss, everyone had their average loss for the month, a minus 1.55% decrease. And average gain, $30 from the 1200 starting point, 2.45%. Okay, so if you want, you can pause the screen here as well. Again, this Excel file will be in the description, so you can download it and have a play of it, have a better look at it there. But just have a little pause here if you want. Okay, now we're going to go down to the last section. I'm going to try and get all of this fitting in the screen at once. Okay, so that's all of it. The other bit's the header. Okay, so it's just the header here. Right. Okay, so I want you to focus mostly on this area here. Sorry that it's right at the bottom and a bit squished. I want to try and keep this in here as well because it does refer back to this data. What I can do, I guess, is squeeze that up a little bit. That helps a little bit, I guess. Okay, so as I said in my previous video, my plan is to have Olivier Danville have 50% of the equity, and the other 5 traders would share the remaining 50% equity. The idea was that Olivier Danville would act as a buffer because from the last 3 years, he's very consistent at his trades. He's been in profit for the last 3 years. So he's essentially a safety net. Okay, so if I put most of the equity on him, so I think the other 5 traders will have 10, they have 10% each, and Olivier Danville would have 50%. Okay, so he's going to be a huge safety net, a huge buffer. So this next bit is essentially to do with that and proving how he can act as a buffer. Okay, so the title of this little graph here, Olivier Danville's average gain versus X. So these would be the X. And then for the horizontal axis, you got the average loss, max loss, and then there's Olivier, this is his average gain. So let me just take you for an example. So if we were to have Olivier Danville's average gain versus Mikhail's average loss, you'd gain 0.3% for the month. If you'd have Olivier Danville's average gain versus Mikhail's max loss, it would also be 0.3 because he's only got 1 loss in this example. He's only got 1 loss in his history. Okay, and then finally, Olivier Danville's max gain versus, for example, Mikhail's max loss. Okay, so Olivier max gain minus Mikhail's max loss. You get 1.45% for the month. Okay, and I know what you're thinking here. Looking at all these reds, there's a lot of minuses here in these examples. I'm just going to walk you through these red examples because remember what we said. We can adjust these numbers here of how much money we're putting in hypothetically. Okay, so at the moment everyone's on 16.67%. The idea in a second is I'm going to change Olivier Danville to $1,000, which should basically mean he's 50%, which is the plan. Okay, but for now, let's have a look at these. So if you have Olivier's average gain versus trading's average loss, goes in the red. Same with Big Profits. Okay. And again, as I said, this is all based on $200 each. Now, if you have Olivia's average gain, take away these guys' max loss, apart from Mikhail, you're looking at the red. So this is purely Olivia versus this person, or purely Olivia versus this person or this person. So in this hypothetical situation, it's literally just these two people. Okay, we've only put money on these two people. They're versus each other head to head. Okay, and it's an equal amount of money as well. They've both got, I guess in this example, they've both got 50% of the equity each. Okay, they're battling it out head to head. Okay, so basically just a lot of reds. Olivia's average gain minus all of these guys' average loss or max loss. It's essentially going to be all red. Olivia's max gain versus these guys' max loss. Yeah, you're kind of looking at profit, except for big profits here, ironically. Let's go down a little bit. So I thought I'd throw a few together here. This example in returns, in terms of the results, won't really work here. But when I change Olivia to $1,000 in a minute, you'll see. But I'll just explain the concept here. Okay, so Olivia Danville's average gain versus both Mikhail and Eddie's average loss. Okay, minus 0.14%, only a little bit. Olivia Danville's average gain versus Mikhail and Eddie's max loss. Okay, max loss, 0.23%. Okay, so only a little bit. And then again, Olivia's max gain versus both Mikhail and Eddie's max loss. Okay, so a little bit of profit. And in this example, it's Olivia's average gain versus 3 traders. Okay, and take a look at those numbers. And then in this example, it's Olivia's average gain versus 4 of the traders. Okay, so still not huge losses. You know, considering we're on 16.67% equity for all the traders, you know, Olivia's basically battling it out versus 4 traders, and he's still, you know, 1%, less than 1% loss in a month in this example. And now another four traders, hypothetical, but we've got big profits, which out of these 6 traders is the most risky, I'd say, upon making this Excel file. I wasn't sure how risky he was before, but you know, there's some losses there that we need to be careful of. So in this example, I've done the 4 traders with big profits. Okay, so minus 1.21, 238, and 1.19. Okay, so averaging about, what was that? Averaging 1.84%. Whereas with these guys, averaging 0.86%. Okay, now for the fun bit. So 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. And now the plan, Olivier Danville. We're going to change this to 1,000, which will make him 50% of the equity. And just watch the numbers turn. Look at all these reds disappear. Very nice. Right. So, I mean, you feel free to look at this, pause the screen if you want, or download the file, have a look, play with it yourself. And I'm going to go down here. This is the most important bit for me. So, Olivia's average gain versus everyone's average loss. 1 by 1, sorry. So, Olivia's average gain versus Mikhail's average loss in profit. Olivia's average gain versus trade-in's average loss in profit. And so on and so on and so on. Olivia going head to head with each of these individually in profit for the month. This is your percentage that you've gained. Okay, so now we'll go and testing it a little bit more hardcore, a little bit more extreme. Okay, Olivia's average gain versus Mikhail's max loss in profit. Olivia's average gain versus trading's max loss in profit. Same here, same here. And again, big profits as slightly ringing alarm bells. Okay. at the moment, I'm still planning to copy him. I'll probably copy trade him last, just for risk management. But yeah, if you take away big profits from this, Olivier Danville head-to-head versus each trader's max loss, and you're still making a profit. And obviously, needless to say, if you bump up Olivier's average gain to max gain, obviously you make far more profit. So you're averaging 2.28% per month. Okay, now the interesting bit, the more realistic bit. So obviously, if you've got 6 traders on at the same time, granted, Olivier Danville's going to have 50% of the equity, but if you've got 6 traders on at the same time, you're bound to get one or two of them hit a loss in the month. You know, it's random to a degree. Like, you don't know which trader's going to have an all-time high gain. You know, that might beat these numbers on here. Meanwhile, that particular hypothetical traders had their all-time max high gain, that's like blown all the numbers out of the water. At the same time, one of your other traders might have an all-time low, whilst a third trader might just average out and have an average loss. You might have three or four traders in the month have hit their average loss. It's unlikely, but you know, Olivier Danville could be battling it out, get his 1% for the month, whilst the other 5 traders, for no reason, in an unlikely situation, all hit their average loss at the same time. Or, God forbid, they all hit their max loss at the same time. You know, we got to be a little bit prepared for that, even though it's, in my opinion, very unlikely that it will happen, that, you know, all of them will hit it at the same time. So let's have a quick look here. So again, just to remind you, we're dealing with the $200 on everyone, $200 on everyone, except for Olivier Danville. He's going to have $1,000, which means he's got 50% equity. Okay, so he is the safety net, he is the buffer. Okay, so Olivier's average gains versus Mikhail and Eddie's average loss. So he's going head-to-head versus these two. Average gain versus average loss, still in profit. Going against all three, so Olivier's average gain versus all three's average loss, still in profit, just about. Olivier's average gains versus 4 traders' average loss. So if all 4 of these traders had a loss, which was averaged out through their historic data, all 4 of these had a loss in the same month, at the end of the month, once the stats are in, versus Olivier's average gain. It's only 0.05% down. And that is very, very, very unlikely that will happen. Okay. And the same again here, 4 traders, but big profits instead of trading, which is a bit more riskier. 0.21% for the month. And that is, as I said, very, very unlikely. So we're just looking at Olivier's average gain versus everyone's average loss, whether it's head-to-head individually or as a group of 2, group of 3, or group of 4. That's good, in my opinion. It's good. It's good stats. I'm reassured by this file. I'm glad I decided to do it. And I'm glad I'm showing you. I hope you can get something from this, and you can download it, as I said, have a play with it, possibly change the traders around, add your own little pictures in, have a play with it. So again, let's do it again. So max loss now. So Olivier's average gain versus max loss, head-to-head with Mikhail. Head-to-head with trading, head-to-head with Harit, big profits, or head-to-head with Eddie. Okay, so all in profit still, except for big profits. And again here, where it's versus 2, in profit, versus 3, in profit, just about. And, you know, as it's a max loss, it's just basically an upgraded version of this, like a more in red version of this. Same here. Okay. And now finally, Olivier Danville's max gain versus the individual max loss. profit 2%, 2%, 2%, 1%, 2%, averaging 2.28%. Now, if Olivier goes head to head with 2 people, with these specific 2 people, 2% profit. These 3, 1%. These 4, 1%. And even these 4 big profits in profit. Okay. So that about does it. I've tried to keep it a bit short, but I've got a horrible feeling that it's probably about 20 minutes long, so I need to cut that down a bit. Ideally, I wanted this to be about 5 minutes, just want to quickly run through it. But I guess there is a lot of data, so it's hard to sort of narrow it down. But this Excel file will be in the link below, so you check that out, download it, have a play with it, put your own copiers in, your own traders, your own stats, whatever you want, have a little play. If you have any comments, any advice where I went wrong, or if you want me to go more in depth with other stats that I might have missed or gone over, just hit me a comment down below, and I'll be happy to oblige. That about does it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. See ya.